My name is Richard Palmer from Entrust, and I'm going to improvise because my presentation isn't on the computer, so we'll just do it without any slides until we can find it. So I represent Entrust, and just first of all to mention from the presentation by YubiKey, we fully support YubiKey tokens, but they do have 1,000 on there. And also what YubiKey was talking about, I think is very important, is the building a plan, a strategy from moving from where you are today to an MFA or whatever type of solution. Because with Entrust, we're not providing just MFA. One of the other areas we should really be looking at as well is know your customer. So, sorry, a little bit out of track because I was expecting the presentation and some nice videos for you. So Entrust has a long history of working in the identity market. So first of all, what we have been building up is a solution not just based on telephones, but that is one area we do look at. So building up your strategy. So the first one is to sit down with your customer, obviously, and understand what they are trying to achieve. Because of course, with any strategy, if we're looking at know your customer or even a passwordless technology, how and what devices. So one of the devices is a token. Another one that we promote quite heavily is the mobile phone. But if you are a company working with, for example, bring your own device policy, what is your bring your own device policy? Are you going to be working with an Apple? Are you going to be working with Samsung? Are you going to be working with a mixture? Or are you even going to have very old telephones that are not smartphones? They're nice Nokias, 2 months battery. Will you allow a combination of all these devices? So smartphones, different types of smartphones, different ages, very old phones with no smart capability, plus tokens. Is that going to be the policy? Or are you going to say or issue, in Entrust they actually issue us with an Apple phone that's less than 3 years old, so that they can actually dictate that we have only supporting Apple and only supporting a certain iOS level. And when Apple issue a new iOS, we have about a week to upgrade, which is rather annoying if you've been on holiday and you haven't switched your phone on, which I like to do. I come back and I can't do anything until I've upgraded my phone because the company says it has to be at that level. So that's just one thing. What I think is a beauty of the Entrust one is we can build a system for you based on all of these as you wish. So you don't have to have just smartphones. You can have a mixture of smartphones. You might have people with a bring your own device where you don't have their consent to put your application on their phone. They're saying, no, I don't want you to put that on my phone. So you have to work with this, with your customer to understand. So that's the first level. And what we use, just to mention it, what we use if you are using a old phone or a smartphone without putting an application on there, we do these smart grids. Does everyone know what smart grid is? Little piece of paper with different columns. I think ours goes to A to F, 1 to 9, and it comes through and says F6. Have a look, put that number in. They are quite secure. I mean, obviously not as secure as doing biometrics, but they are quite secure. So we can build up this combination for you. The next step is once we've understood how you're going to do this, we then start building into the device. And I mentioned, Entrust's internal policy where we have an Apple phone with a certain iOS level, but we work with you on that. But what we need to do is secure your phone. So is this a trusted device? Is it someone just inside trying to use someone else's device, pretending to be this device? So we provide you the tools, the SKU to put on the phone, which will, at the very beginning, validate that phone, and then stop someone else, my colleague Marcus here, using his phone to pretend to be my phone. So we can provide you with those tools on the smartphones to start with. Then within a Know Your KYC, we then want to start onboarding you. So what we'll do is we'll take your ID card, got one here. So I'll take my, well, I'll just put a credit card, it's the same. I had a lovely video of this, but we don't have one at the moment, improvised. So I can then take, once I've installed this, I start the onboarding process for the KYC. What I might add is, does anyone have bank, Rubico? Revolut. Does anyone have a Revolut bank? Anyone? Yeah. Has anyone onboarded with Revolut? Anyone done the KYC, the onboarding with Revolut? Of course, right. So you know this better than me then, because I don't have a Revolut account. And you've been using Entrust, but you've not noticed it. So you do photograph of your ID, back and front. As an option, you can add as an option if you wish, you can put your phone onto your card, and then we can read your chip, NFC chip read. We work with about 150 different companies now. We've 150 different chips, sorry, not different companies, 150 different chips. Documents, but also chips. And we can integrate other chips if it's needed. It's not a problem. We've a lot of experience on that. So we can then validate that card. We got that. Then we take your picture. We can do a nice little picture of yourself. And what we can do is we can do a simple, stand there, we can do a add in. And again, it's working with you, with your customers, on understanding your requirements. We can do a turn your head to the left, turn your head to the right, whatever you want on there. Now, we're starting to move into deepfake. So how do we know it's not me? How do we not know it's a deepfake? How do we not know that's a very good copy of my document? So very recently, if any one of you have been following Entrust at all, or know of a company called Onfido, we have just purchased Onfido, which is a British-based company that specialises in this. We just spent around about $650 million. So it's quite a big investment to show that we are absolutely committed to this strategy in the identity. And what they specialise in is identifying fake documents and deepfake pictures. So we have already integrated this. We have sold this, Onfido have sold, they work with OTP Bank here in Hungary already, providing this technology. So we are able now to work on identifying deepfake and forged documents so that we can identify what is real and what isn't real. And because they're learning algorithms, they are continuously learning, updating, because of course if you're going to be building, your company is going to invest in an identity KYC type technology. You want a technology that is with you for the next 10 plus years. You don't want to be buying something that's good today but not good tomorrow. And I think the indication that we've spent $650 million US on a company to be ready for you tomorrow and day after tomorrow is, I hope, a good indication that we're working on the way forward. I pause. just on that one. So once you've done all that on onboarding and you've validated your picture and everything, that all goes off way. It does some algorithm. What I will say is we have both on-prem and as a service. If you're using the as a service, you get all the features, obviously, as everyone knows. So the features that I mentioned about Onfido for deepfake fake documents, because of all the processing, that is only available as a service. And as you're all aware, there is a compliance questions, there's security questions about where does your data go. We don't store the data, we're just using the data, and it's all in the European Union. To be honest, I'm not sure. I'm quite about 90% sure it's data center in Germany. I have requested where it's all done, but I'm not, but it is in the European Union, which makes it a little bit easier in Hungary, but I do understand there's a lot of customers that want an on-prem solution. So we do have that, but we just lose some of the features. So once we finish doing all this onboarding process, the KYC, you finish that and it's up and running. Then what you can do, almost straight away, well, straight away if this is what you want, depending on the use. So if you are, for example, a TSP or a bank and you're onboarding to use the bank, you can go straight into a digital signature. And this is now moving on to this whole NIS2, EIS2, the European Union Digital Wallet scheme, where KYC is very important, but also moving into using electronic signature for just about everything. You can then, and we have got examples of this, Revolut, you then just get your card, and then you can download your card and start shopping almost straight away off your telephone. Or you can sign documents. It's not a public reference, but if any of you are working with the government and Hungary is ready to move to a completely digital world, we do work with a number of countries where you can do everything from your phone using this type of solution. I'll give you an example. I was at a meeting a couple of months ago. One of the guys I was talking to, his son had been born about a week before, and literally, and this is true, while we were talking, he got the message that the doctor had registered the birth in the system, and would he confirm that it's all correct? He looked at the details, took his photograph, pressed it, and it issued the birth certificate there and then. So birth certificates, marriage certificates, tax returns, driving licenses, everything from using the KYC that Entrust provide up front. Obviously, it's all configurable. I have an Entrust logo on mine, but you can change all the patterns, everything like that, for whatever you want to have as your organization. So, and the utilization of that, obviously, it's just your imagination, how far you want to go, and it's continuously going. Also, on the side of that, we then start, and Yubiko at the end was talking about it moving into a passwordless environment. So more or less, the applications look and feel the same. It's a slightly different product, but for the user, it looks and feels the same. We move into a passwordless. So if you're moving into a passwordless environment, I don't need to repeat, I think everyone here was listening to Yubiko, the advantages of moving into a passwordless environment. We provide those same tools for you to move into a passwords. And once again, it's the same. We don't insist on whether you use Apple, Android, smartphones, tokens. You can do a complete mix and match of this. Other features we add into here are, and they're not unique, but we add them in there, of course, is geo location. Do you specify that only someone in Hungary, no one from Russia, no one from China can ever log on? Do you say, okay, certain people can log on from China, maybe there's a genuine reason why they could be in China, but we add an extra level of authentication before they access any data because they're outside Hungary? Do you have some people you say cannot, if you take a bank, Why would the person who sits in the front of a bank ever access data in the evening or a weekend? So they're just blocked, 100% blocked. If I log on here in Budapest now, and in 20 minutes I log on in London, block. Those features are all added in there and can be selected or not. It's up to you. As I said at the very beginning, what we need to do is sit down with the customer and work what they want to do, what do they want to achieve. And you don't have to put those all in at the very beginning. You can put them in later once you start bedding in the solution and getting people used to it. I think I've just about covered everything. I'm a little bit early because I did have a couple of very nice. Maybe I got the videos. We're here, so let me shoot through to a video. It's not going up. Okay, so it's not way. But so Clicko will be sharing the presentations with you, with the videos. Sorry, my presentation wasn't so structured, but anyway, this is all good training, isn't it? Stand up and do a presentation with everything planned, ready to go in a nice flow, but it didn't actually work. There are three of us here from Entrust. We're sat outside. If anyone has any questions, we'll be very pleased to take your questions. Through Clicko, obviously, all the software we can provide you free of charge for demo, for testing, for proof of concepts. We'll provide you with the free training. We're absolutely here to help you. This is a direction I think that I am convinced it will take off. As I said, we've got the EIDAS2, European Digital Wallet, lots, the Know Your Customer, lots and lots of rules coming out. Without even thinking about, as security professionals, we want to start securing our data, securing access, making sure that only the right people access the right data at the right time. So I think, this is time to start seriously thinking about identity. And I hope you choose to work with Clicko and Entrust as you move forward in this story. So thank you very much.